There is a machine sitting somewhere on the factory floor. It's been running for years. Every day, the operator comes in, starts, the machine starts. It produces. Every day, people walk past it without giving it much thought. Then one morning, stop. Production stops. Everyone looks at the machine. The operator looks at maintenance. Maintenance looks at production. Production looks at the schedule. And suddenly, everybody becomes very interested in this machine. But here is the uncomfortable question. When did the machine actually start failing? Was it this morning? Probably not. The breakdown may have started weeks or months earlier. A vibration, a strange noise, a small oil leak, temperature increase, a loose connection, a bearing beginning to wear out, a sensor behaving differently, a component running slightly outside its normal condition. The machine may have been giving warnings long before it finally stopped. Industrial maintenance guidance consistently emphasizes that small abnormalities can develop into major catastrophes when they are ignored or allowed to accumulate. The final failure is often just the moment when the problem becomes impossible to ignore. And that's where the lesson gets interesting. The machine kept talking. Imagine your machine if it could talk. It might say, "I'm vibrating more than usual." You reply, "We will check you later." The machine says, "I'm running hotter." You say, "Production is too busy today." The machine says, "Something doesn't sound right." You say, "It's been making that noise for weeks." Then eventually, bang, the machine stops. Now everyone runs. What's wrong? Funny, isn't it? The machine wasn't trying to tell you. The machine was trying to tell you. You just weren't listening. People do the same thing. And here is where the broken machine becomes a story about life. My life and your life. People give warnings too. Your body tells you, your relationship tells you, the finances tell you, your business tells you, your attitude tells you, your faith tells you, but we often ignore the early signals. We wait for the breakdown. The body has warning lights. Your body rarely says, "Good morning" at 10:30 on Thursday. "I'll completely fail." Instead, it gives you clues. You are tired all the time. You're gaining weight. You're sleeping badly. You're constantly stressed. You're becoming less active. You ignore the signals. Then one day, you have a serious health problem and say, "This happened all too suddenly." Sometimes it did, but often the final event was sudden. The deterioration wasn't. The relationship machine. Relationships have warning signs too. Conversations become shorter. People stop laughing together. Small frustrations become arguments, big arguments. One person stops listening. Affection decreases. Time together disappears. Someone says, "We need to talk," and the other person says, "We are fine." That's dangerous because "we are fine" can sometimes mean the warning light is on, but I don't want to look at it. Eventually, the relationship reaches a breakdown. Then everyone wants an emergency repair, but emergency repairs are usually more expensive than routine maintenance. Businesses break down too. Sales decline slightly. Customers complain more. Employees stop taking ownership. Quality problems increase. Stock accuracy gets worse. Overtime increases. Scrap rises. Cash flow tightens. The numbers are talking, but management says we will deal with it next month. Then the business enters a crisis and everyone asks, what really happened? The better question to ask is, what did we notice and fail to act on? This is one of the most important lessons manufacturing can teach you. An abnormality is not just an inconvenience, it is information. A strange noise is information. Take your car, listen to its sound. If you hear something that is not normal, that is not usual, an increase in vibration maybe, something running water is information. An unusual vibration is information. A repeated quality defect somewhere on the tire, somewhere on the lights, somewhere on the engine is information. The dangerous phase is to ignore the information that you are being given. Don't say it's always been like that. No, maybe that's exactly the problem. A machine that has been abnormal for 6 months has not become normal. You've simply become accustomed to the abnormality. Imagine putting a frog into boiling water. It jumps out. Now imagine putting the frog into cool water and slowly increasing the temperature. The frog doesn't notice the danger immediately. Whether you use the story literally or not, the illustration is powerful. Gradual change is easier to ignore than sudden change. Factories experience this constantly. Businesses experience this constantly. One small increase in scrap in production, one small increase in downtime, one more wire break, one more quality complaint, one more late delivery, one more overtime hour. Nothing seems serious until you look back and realize the problem didn't suddenly become big. We simply allowed small things to become normal. There's a big cost attached to "we will fix it later." Later is one of the most expensive words in business. We'll fix it later, we'll investigate later, we'll clean it later, we'll coach him later, we'll replace it later, we'll update the standard later, we'll deal with the customer complaint later. Later sounds cheap until the bill arrives. A small maintenance issue can become a breakdown. A small quality issue can become a customer claim. A small performance issue can become a disciplinary problem. Small financial leak can become debt. A small relationship problem can become resentment. The longer you leave a small problem alone, the more expensive it becomes to introduce it to a solution. Don't just repair the machine. When the machine breaks, there are two questions. The first is, how do we get it running? That's important. But there's a second question that is even more important. Why did it fail? If you replace the bearing and restart the machine, you have restored production. But if you don't understand why the bearing failed, you may have simply restarted the countdown to the next failure. Good maintenance isn't only about fixing what broke. It is about learning from the failure and reducing the chance of recurrence. The Band-Aid machine. There is another dangerous type of machine, the machine that has been fixed 10 times. A temporary repair, then another, then another, then another. Everyone knows it. Just get it running. So we do. And the machine runs until it doesn't. This is how cultures of firefighting develop. We celebrate the person who gets the machine running at 2 a.m. But sometimes we should ask, why did we need a hero at 2 a.m.? Maybe the real hero was the person who noticed the problem at 10 a.m. and stopped it from becoming a breakdown. Prevention rarely looks heroic because nothing happened. Think about your own life. Think about the warning before the catastrophic failure. What is making a strong noise in your life? Where are you seeing abnormal vibration? Where is something running hotter than it should? Where are you getting repeated failures? Where are you accepting close enough? Where are you saying it's been like that for years? That's where you need to look, not at the obvious, at the abnormal. The 5-question machine check that you can use for your own life. Before you leave work today, ask yourself, what is normal? Don't accept normal simply because you have become accustomed to it. What has changed? Noise, quality, output, behavior, cost. How long has it been happening? Don't just record today's failure. Find the timeline. What is the consequence if we ignore it? Put a number on it where possible. Dollars, rands, tons, hours, customers, quality, safety. What is the root cause? Don't stop at it. The bearing failed. Ask why did the bearing fail? That's where improvement begins. Your life has a maintenance schedule. Your life needs preventative maintenance too. Your body needs maintenance. Your finances need maintenance. Your relationships need maintenance. Your skills need maintenance. Your faith needs maintenance. Your business needs maintenance. Your equipment needs maintenance. We don't wait for the car to seize before checking the oil. So why wait for the life to break down before we pay attention? Preventative maintenance is fundamentally about identifying deterioration early and acting before it becomes a catastrophic failure. The invisible economy lesson is this. This fits perfectly into the invisible economy. Every warning you respond to is a deposit. Every warning you ignore is potentially a withdrawal. Every small repair is an investment. Every ignored problem is debt. The machine doesn't suddenly become expensive when it breaks. The cost has been accumulating while you were ignoring it. And that's true of your life. Here's my final thought. The next time you hear a strong noise from a machine, don't just ask, can we keep running? Ask, what is the machine trying to tell me? And when your life starts making a strange noise, listen. When your health changes, listen. When your relationship changes, listen. When your business numbers change, listen. When your team behaves differently, listen, because the biggest failures often don't begin with a bang, they begin with a whisper. The breakdown is really the beginning of the problem. It is usually the end of a warning period. An abnormality doesn't become normal because you ignore it. The best repair is the one you never need because you acted early. Don't wait for the machine to stop before you start listening. And perhaps the most important question in the invisible economy is this. What is still running in my life that I should have stopped to inspect? Find it, investigate it, fix it before the smoke comes out, before the lights go off, before somebody has to shout, the machine is broken down. See you in the next video.